Katie Bowman, and today I'm just going to be working on this gorgeous dog called Jack. He's a cross between a Jack Russell Terrier and a Staffy, so he's a cross. So I'm just going to be working on his fur. So today I'm just going to show you this sort of texture that I like to get into the fur. He does have quite a lot of texture, so this is a very good example. Now, as you can see, I've done the overall sketch. You'll see the outline. You will also see on the sketch that I've marked in there where all the darker areas are. So what I'm going to do first of all is just finish off putting in this sketch. So just so I have an idea, so I'm not constantly stopping and checking where the darker areas are. So this is a darker area here, and then it comes down here, and that's quite light fur there. There's also a darker patch here, and that comes round and onto the nose. And I'm just using a 2H pencil here. These are Faber-Castell drawing pencils that I'm using. They are quite good, the best I've used so far. So it's just getting in that sketch quickly first, so it gives you a good reference point. There's some dark here too, then that comes down. So drawing the fur, what I like to do is to get a good clean up and down motion, depending on how long the fur is. As you can see, it's quite short. If it's long fur, then I like to be able to move up and down like this. Shorter fur, obviously smaller strokes. Always go with the line of the fur. As you can see, I've come round and it comes up here a little bit. So I'm just going to begin now. So what I like to do is just move the paper to where I like it to be, so I have that motion. So in this case, I'm going to tilt it this way, and then I use a scrap bit of cartridge paper over the rest of the drawing, just so then it's protected and then you don't get any smudging. So I'm just going to work on this darker area here first. Now I'm starting with a 2H pencil. Got my blue tack under that, sorry. So 2H pencil. I'll zoom in a little bit just so you can see. And just leaving little gaps in between each of the lines. And as you can see, I'm going up and down, sorry, from up to down, just following that fur. Now there is quite a lot of white fur that peeps out over the top as well, so we want to get that in. So the next one I'm going to use is a HB pencil, go a little bit darker. And don't just go just in one direction. Make sure that the fur there we go. It's getting a little bit darker now. And then what I like to do is use a Tombow eraser. So it's the Mono Zero Tombow eraser. It's the square-edged one. And what I like to do is just get a fine point. So you'll be able to see, it's a little bit dirty there, so if I put that there, Go up and down, and then turn it up and down. That cleans off your edge, and then you've got a point that you can work with, and that way you can get all the fine little hairs. And then you go in with the darker pencil, which is a B. Same again, Faber-Castell pencils. I go in between each of the white hairs. Now it does curve around a little bit, this fur. It does blend through a little bit there with the lighter area. So there we go. You can have a look at it then, see if there is enough of your finer white hairs. For this one, I do need to add a few more, and then adding in the darker just highlights them a little bit more. Now, of course, always make sure that you're using a very sharp pencil. Using a blunt pencil, you get very thick hairs, so that's not very good. A few darker ones down here, so I'm just going to add them in now. And then go again with your 2H. And then get these finer ones at the top. And just bring it down. So as you can see, I like to work in on different areas at a time. I like to go from, so I've started with the eye, and then I've worked around the eye here, then brought this round here, got the texture right, and then continued that down. There's a lot of darker areas here where I've used the B pencil a little bit more, and here, where as you can see I've used the eraser a bit more, and then just highlighted in between each of the hairs, just with the HB mechanical pencil, which is quite handy. And you do have to, you know, really look into each of the hairs with your pencil. So I've gone over it with the Tombow eraser here, and then just highlighted each of the hairs just by going in between them with the HB, and then continue down here with the B pencil. So that is how I do textured fur, textured short fur. I hope that helps. Any questions, then just drop me a message. You can get me on my Facebook page, which is Personal Artwork. Take care. Bye.